Well, who gonna rent me, boo?
Right, who gonna rent
Yes, who gonna rent me, boo? That was a little clip of Kenya and Candy on the Speak On It that I referenced earlier in today's recap. So I wanted to touch on that really quick because in it, some interesting things were said about Sheree and Martell, and specifically Sheree, because they're kind of responding to some things that were in the news, specifically last week, with regards to things that Sheree was saying online. One of the things that Sheree had mentioned was, when your rent-a man gets delivered, then let me know so we can go on a double date. And she said this in response to something that Kenya Moore was responding to on the Twitter. So that's why you hear Candy and Kenya, especially Kenya, she's talking about how, oh, you want to talk about me renting somebody, but let's talk about you, okay? Let's talk about how the streets are saying that you and Martell are using each other for publicity. Yeah, how y'all just ended up in some random park and how Freddie O was just happened to be there to take some photos. That's what Candy and Kenya are saying in the video. Kenya also goes on to say, and this was like wild. Kenya also says that Sheree is the most fired housewife in the franchise history. And it sort of got me to thinking, I was like, now, is she the most fired? I mean, technically, she did get the boot that one time. Then she came back a couple of years later as a friend and then a full time. Then got the boot again. And then now she's back full time. But you know what? All that matters is she here now. She here now and she here doing the doggone thing. And she doing the doggone thing with Mr. Martell Holt. Okay. Now, will she become Sheree Holt? I mean, only the future and God knows. Okay. Only the future and God knows. But back to the Speak On It. They do go into, Kenya goes into an interesting story about how, apparently when Martell had DM'd her, she said that, it was a clip of, I guess it was Carlos King and Kenya, and it was posted on a blog or something like that, or a live or Instagram or something. And Kenya says that Martell responded and commented about how he was grateful for what she said about him being a good father in the comments. But then he doubled down on it, and for some reason then took that same comment to the DMs. Now Kenya then goes on to say, why is it that weren't you with your wife at the time? Okay, weren't you with your wife at the time that you was DMing me? Okay, why were you DMing me for a comment that you had already put in the comment section that was in public? Why was you then taking it to the DM? So that's why she said she didn't even give it any energy, because she felt like it was taking it a step too far. Okay. Um, Yo no say, man. Yo no say. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section down below. But I do think that we have some interesting commentary, because a lot of you guys were really up in arms about this aggressive comment. Okay, this aggressive thing is like, and this, the other word that was being used is kind of getting interesting. So we have Courtney, who has some commentary about that, but we got a little bit of back and forth betwixt Sheree and Kenya from Instagram. So let's take a look over at our friends at the Bravo Shade Room. And they happen to catch Kenya posting this. It says, you weren't official then. Well, Sheree says 6 months ago, why didn't you say anything at the reunion? She tags Kenya Moore. Kenya says, you weren't official then. Happy Mother's Day. Okay. And so Kenya then goes on to say, I call it the way I see it. By calling a man or a woman aggressive, if they are behaving that way, doesn't mean I'm saying all are. Hashtag false narrative. Hashtag y'all tried it. Hashtag Real Housewives of Atlanta. Do you guys think that she is correct in that? Okay. So then the next thing was something that Courtney said. She said, so now it's a problem for a woman to be passionate when speaking. Anything I say, I trust I mean it. I was just saying that I don't have to clout chase, and I don't. This is a reference to her, bebopping, as we talked about earlier in her video, in the video when we was talking about how she was talking to Candy. You know what I'm saying? She just saying that she was passionate, about what she was saying. Okay. She then goes on to say, it's always best when men stay out of women's business. Yikes. So this is interesting to me because I would not have thought that Sheree's friend would have come down on the other side of this argument. Do you guys agree with Courtney that it's always best when men stay out of women's business? I guess the difference in this situation, though, is that Sheree was the one that called Martell over into the Biz E. Unless she's not talking about the Martell situation and she's talking about somebody else, but I'm not sure who was in the women's business. Let me know, because I could be misreading it. I could totally be misreading that. But you let me know in the comment section down below. We have one more commentary. Okay. A commenter says Kenya shows up for Sheree with her relationships. You can't ignore Martell's behavior towards Mel and Ariane and this is something a sentiment that a lot of you guys echoed in the comments from the other video. The commenter goes on to say Kenya answered after Tyrone stood her up. She told Bob his jokes weren't funny. Marlo has never. She gave her a shopping experience that she had to pay for. Okay, referring to what Marlo did for Sheree last year. And then Kenya responds and says, I don't play about these. I'm assuming she means men. I'm always going to have the woman's back, even when they didn't have mine. Okay. So, very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting indeed. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Also, just a little bit of extra tea, y'all. So, if you guys head over to Carlos King's Instagram page, for a lot of you Belle Collective fans, you will see the full trailer for the Belle Collective Season 3, which premieres this Friday, May 19th on OWN. Okay. So, in the trailer, let me tell y'all, you've got So Gucci and Latrice about to go at it. And it looks like they're going at it over whether or not Latrice should have used So Gucci, because, So Gucci is a realtor, to buy her new building. Apparently, she did not use So Gucci after So Gucci showed her a building. So they're going to go at it real hard. You have, from the looks of it, So Gucci also getting into what appears to be a confrontation with what appears to be her husband's ex that Tambra has seemingly brought to an event. This is looking all kinds of crazy. And at the end of the trailer, you basically hear somebody say, where's my wig at? So somebody then got their wig shifted or pulled off or something to that effect. Of course, you got Letitia still going at it with Glenn. He trying to be a rapper now. You got Marie and Latrice still going at it, but it sounds to me like Marie is also doing some recon on Tambra Sheree and calling out Tambra Sheree for something going on with some other man or something like that. It's looking real crazy, okay? Like, this season looks super, super lit. So y'all watch the trailer. I'm gonna put it down in the description down below so you guys can tell me what you think. With that being said, there's more news that we got coming for y'all. I don't know if I'll get to do another video later because I do have a couple of very important appointments that I have to get to later on this afternoon. But baby, let me tell you something. The news is popping. So with that being said, I will catch you all in the next video.